Welcome back to Black Clover Anime Review, episode 94. This will be the 140th episode of the anime, A Favor for Julius, and the 261st chapter of the manga, Shadows of Night. This episode is another one of those two-story episodes, though it does have some of a plot thread they had from the Zor episode. That was just a standalone episode. Okay, this one the Black Bulls are in the episode. Almost all of them except for two. Yep. Now, all the Black Bulls are here except for Yami and Gordon. Oh yeah, and also Henry's not here as well. That's like three Black Bulls. Not in this episode. Henry, I don't get why he's not included. Gordon, I think he's studying with his family. Yami, they don't really say what he's up to. Okay, the episode starts off with Julius, the child Julius, just trying to do his little wander around thing he usually does, but he can't because he's a child. And Marcus basically he has stuff, he has paperwork to do. Yeah, he's kind of like Naruto, he doesn't like doing paperwork very much. So, I need a favor, okay. Two things. First, have Sally do experimentation on the Black Bulls. Very weirdly, too. It's like, okay, Sally shows up. Now, this is the first time Sally's been seen in this anime original arc. Because the last time she was seen for like one episode. Hell, we're building a town that was wrecked by the Eye of Midnight Sun during the reincarnation arc. Okay, but did she escape? Nope. She's here probably as a work release. So, she proceeds to do, like, a unsupervised experimentation of the Black Bulls, with the exception of Gordon Yami. Like in the case of, and they basically do with like various pairs. You have Gordon, you have Goosh and Gray, which I thought this pairing was quite strange because these two very rarely interact with each other, and it seems as though the anime is basically hinting at something that the manga basically is hinting at right now, that Gray has got a thing for Goosh. No joke. She seriously does. She's in love with Goosh. And basically, Sally uses her sticky salamander to do various things. The first person she comes across is Magna. Yep. And tries to his mana. He gets knocked out. As for Goosh and Gray, they're confronted by a silhouette of Mari. Of course, you have Goosh basically having a nosebleed over seeing his adorable little sister. They get something from Sally and they get knocked out. Vanessa and Fenrir they come across a wine bottle. Now, Vanessa, she hinted at this the last episode that she's going to stay off the bottle for a while in order to focus on training. Okay. Despite the fact whatever she drinks anyways, she's perfectly fine. Yeah, I thought this was kind of weird. And they're attacked by Sally off screen. Charmy, food, because she loves food. And she gets like, she looked like she put on a little bit of weight. I think I hit this. That's probably hinting something that currently happened in the manga right now. Eventually, Sally, because I also remember his promise to Sally that after the battle, she could do whatever experimentation she wants on him as long as she uses anesthesia. And the first step she does is she takes a clip of his hair. Yep, clip of his hair. Don't worry, it grows back. Don't worry about it. And like nail clippings, he rubs around his body. Of course, Noelle is getting jealous of the fact that she's rubbing around Asta's muscular build. And of course, Marx is there too, along with some research guy we've never seen before. And she completes the experiment. Nuts and I was like, oh. Good job. I can't understand it, but good job. Fenrir opens up a portal back to the capital. Like, maybe I can do more later. Like she loves doing research to help others, and that's that. But that's not the end of the episode. Nope, we have more with Julius. Next step of the favor, having Nozel and Vergolan go undercover with Marx to a village to investigate these bandits raiding villages in the Forsaken Realm of all things. Yep, the Forsaken Realm. they come across a village, which the called Agnor, I think is the name of the village, and like they get there and the place is ruined. Apparently, there's not been any aid in the Forsaken Realm. And don't worry, they do fix it by the end of the episode. And of course, we have Fagolion. His alias is Leon, and Nozel is Nose. Okay, Nose. They talk to a food merchant who. This particular looks like this image is like taken from last week's episode, where this time it's a guy selling vegetables. Last week it was Domita selling useless objects to make money. It's a very similar thing. Now, my guess is this is basically a not traditional market type of thing. Now, I have seen marketplaces like this, basically makeshift ones, places around here. It was before the whole pandemic so happened. This was years ago, and there have been places like this. This type of thing is real, where people would sell stuff on a blanket, and they would sit there, and they would try to help the sell for. Usually, they sell for previous price. I never actually. I think I bought maybe one thing for these people. That was a glass bottle that I actually still have. By the way, it's somewhere in storage, but I still have it. But yeah, that type of salesmanship, that type of thing, is real, but. That was where I basically was a big marketplace gallery. This was basically Middle Town Square. I'm like, wouldn't Town Square have stores? But not this village, because the stores probably are gone because of all the attacks by Midnight Sun. So, Fergolian hugs over a big chunk of change to buy this guy's vegetables. Like, okay, I gotta think it was like too much. Like, don't worry, you could probably spend to help rebuild the village. Like, okay, it's perfectly nice. And like stay the night. I was like, okay, so they spend night in somebody's house. They don't say which. Oh yeah, and also Nozel comes across. No, now they mention the name Corvolia, which is an alias of Julius. Okay, quite interesting that the fact that an alias of an old lady that he assumed the identity of. Like, oh, you're friends of hers. Awesome. You can stay at night. Cool. And then they're confronted by the bandits, who turn out to be the villagers. Yep, the villagers. It turns out they've been stealing from other villagers to rebuild the village. And, okay, so the mayor wants to turn himself in. And the mayor's like, no, this is our joint thing. Okay, so Vergoan comes up with the interesting punishment. Okay, your punishment is to we're gonna basically we can help rebuild. We're gonna send aid out here, but your punishment is to help rebuild the village you probably stole from. And Nozel's like, see, these people should get crueler punishment than that. Like, should get more. Like, that's not a punishment. It's like they should tell me you're too cruel, you're too soft. Typical of these two. They're basically longtime rivals. And of course, well, Marks, who basically his alias here was Mark. If we're back to the Wizard King, like, maybe he'll have something for Yami. Because he wants to do his wander about that he usually does, but, well, we won't see that next week as far as I can tell. Next week looks like a mission for the Golden Dawn. Yep, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I don't think there's been any focus on the Golden Dawn these episodes. No, not that I can think of. The only thing comes close to it is basically seeing that, well, seeing basically Fenrir's brother and Fenrir's fiance spying on him during that mixer. That was simply it. Alright, now time for a new chapter of the manga, which has this wonderful color page of, this is page 261 of the basically 261st chapter, Shadows of Night. It's basically Asta with his new arm and using Yami's sword, and Yami's in the background. This is a great cover image. And Yoto Tabata basically should get a award for this. This is damn good. Chapter starts off in the capital. Asta's basically undergoing recovery, and Clive is there. Yep, Clive is back. This is the same guy who examined his arms way back. I believe it was at the start of the Witch's Forest arc. Yep, that was now technically that was not the last time he was seen. That was last in the building. This building was seen that they're at. Now, as for him, last time he was seen was during the Reincarnation arc. So it's nice to see him. Like, Asta's however, that right arm is totally unknown. There's nothing I can do about that. He also mentioned the Golden Island has been decimated. I prefer to send a recovery pages to take a look, but I'm truly glad you only suffered minor injuries. And Venerable says, Asta must even protect us, that's why. And Gray's like, give Groosh a proper look. Too. Proper look. Was his really run through his giant sword? This is beyond recovery. The very tissue's been reassembled. The true nature of your magic may not be transformation. They didn't really delve into it. And then we see Vanessa basically just in her underwear. Vanessa, you're in the Capitol. Put some damn clothes on. They say, oh yeah, it's not Captain meeting. And then we cut to Asta in bed. And I should note, though, his grimoire is next to... It's basically on his left, and it's basically his right side of his head. And then he wakes up, sees his arm, and he looks over his grimoire, opens by itself, and then... Yami's sword comes out! For some reason, and Asta's nervous about it. And then he just runs out. Runs out, basically, with his Black Bull's robe on, and he sees a mysterious guy. I have to go save Captain Yami. And the guy says, you can't. You're no match for Devil Host on your own. Where you trying to go? There are two others who are just as strong. Even the devil you're counting on has given up on you. You're as hopeless. You don't understand. The right arm is very well either. Are you going? Is it courageous like that? No, dummy is. Even so, I have to go. I have to. While we're here now, Captain Yami is... Oh, him? Why not just leave him? I don't know who you are, but what do you know about Captain Yami? I'm very familiar with him. He's rough, violent, and savage, irresponsible, unprincipled, faithful. He isn't a decent human being. Yeah, apparently a show like various stuff related to Asta. If he lost, he's just an idiot. And Asta summoned his Demon Destroyer sword, tries to attack him, but he's held down. A human human can't defeat me, will never reach Yami. If I were more stronger, you're weak. You're a fool, but you're a good person, I like you. Don't worry, Yami's still alive. And Asta asks the obvious question: who is this guy? I'm the vice captain of the Black Bulls, Nicked. If you want, I'll teach you how to use Devil's power. Okay. That's him. Nicked, the vice captain of the Black Bulls. I think even Reed's probably like, what? Black Bulls got vice captain? A character. This is probably by far the another hidden member of the Black Bulls. This is the first one they've actually had. This is the second one they've had in the series where there probably wasn't a Black Bull, but this is someone they kept completely secret for a long time. And apparently the guy is the vice captain for some reason, and Yami never mentioned he had vice captain. It's assumed it was probably Fenril. Yeah, Fenril was possibly assumed he might be the vice captain because he got seniority. Him or probably not Magna, probably Fenril at least, but a vice captain who looks similar in shape to... His name was Nicked. Okay. It's almost like his name is basically Licked, spelled backwards. That's what it seems like to me. Well, I like that his name, like... Wait, is that Licked spelled backwards? I don't know, but Licked is gone. So, who knows? I mean, the last hidden member they introduced for the Black Bulls was Henry. And he was introduced in the reincarnation arc. Before the whole craziness, everybody turned to elves. But this is a damn good chapter, and good follow-up what happened with last week. Well, last chapter anyways. But at least, unlike with One Piece, we had to wait 2 frickin' weeks for the next chapter. This one, only have to wait about a week. It's coming out Sunday. Which is good, I appreciate that. I give this chapter roughly a 9.5 out of 10. Damn good chapter. Looking forward to next chapter. We're just going to see Asta going through training how to use his devil power. Which I'm kind of like, It's about freaking time. I mean, yeah, he's been taught how to use the sword for his devil powers, but how to use his power properly. That is something I don't think anybody's. I mean, you assume he probably went through some training during time skip. It's not been thoroughly shown that much. I mean, in the case of the episode, you see him briefly training with his sword with Noelle, and that's it. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for this particular review. Stay tuned. Probably tomorrow for the return of One Piece. Yep. Now, in case you probably asking, what am I looking next? I just finished up Riverfell Night. I'm gonna think about it. I'll decide soon of what series I'm going to do. But like in the case of Freya, I have some light novels to read. Basically, I have once again about 7 books again, so 4 books this time. Basically, I'm reading Freya this time. Freya is actually one of the books, along with Saga Evil, Konosuba, and another one on my smartphone. I'm reading these 4 books I got. Which the next one? One of whom Saga was is the last one for that one. Yeah, so I'm gonna read these 4 books and then start and then pick another anime to do next. Yeah, Freya book 7, Saga Evil book 7, and now on my smartphone book 9, and Konosuba book 8. I'm gonna be reading these now. You probably ask, Nick, are you gonna review these books? I have no plans to. I just read them because I want to. Okay? So yeah. So until we see you all tomorrow for One Piece and ReZero. Yep, ReZero is coming tomorrow. New episode. And I think we're getting toward the end of the first half of the season. Okay, so see you next video. Bye.